My name's Trent. I'm the head football coach at Indiana State University. I've been here for 4 seasons. Um, I am a graduate of Indiana State. I played here from 1982 to 1986. I've been coaching ever since 1987 at either Division I or the NFL level. I've been with, before Indiana State, I was at the University of New Mexico. I've been at the University of Oklahoma, Northern Illinois University, Fresno State University, University of Hawaii, Seattle Seahawks, Green Bay Packers, hard to remember, Stanford, Notre Dame, and the University of Washington. Well, some of the lessons I've learned basically is to make sure that you treat others the way that you want to be treated. Show everybody respect, keep your character and integrity intact, and just work as hard as you possibly can. There's a lot of really good coaches out there, and you meet a lot of good people, and you just want to make sure that you're doing things the right way all the time, and to the best of your ability. Again, to me, it's really about the character and integrity, and the knowledge is there, so that's not the problem. It's just making sure that again you treat people right, and you treat young men the right way. We're in this as educators, and no matter what level you're at, whether it be NFL, college, or pro, you're trying to teach somebody life lessons and a wonderful game. So that's kind of what I've learned. Well, the first thing about Shakir, he's a wonderful young man. He's a leader. He is a very, very strong competitor. He's very physically tough, mentally tough, and he hates to lose. Whether it be a wind sprint or a squatting in the weight room or anything that he does, he wants to compete to win, and that's the type of young man he is. And he's good off the field as well as on the field. He's always trying to do community service and help others, and he's trying to stay on top of his game. As a running back, he's very explosive. People misguide his speed. He's a lot quicker than people think, give him credit for. He's over a 600-pound squatter, and he's just a very tough physical runner. If you watch, the amount of yards after contact that he gets when he's running the ball, I think that really sticks out. He can carry guys on his back, and he can make people miss. He has the ability and space to make you miss, and got great feet and really good vision. So, those are all the attributes of a really good running back, and he has them. And he's tough. That's the main thing. He's a tough young man. Plays through pain and runs with great pad level, and just a tough person. There's a lot of them. He averaged over 7.3 yards per carry this year. Just a particular play or anything. There was almost every time he touched the ball, he gaining over 7 yards. That's phenomenal. But there's some of the runs that stick out in my mind were against Western Kentucky on the road against the Division I opponent, which we beat. He had an outstanding game, and then I think he had a stretch there in the season where he had 3 or 4 200-yard games in a row, and just the ability to be able to turn the corner on people or run inside, break tackles, and still take it the distance. So I go back to the Western Illinois game. A couple of the times he touched the ball the very first time were for long touchdowns. I know Youngstown State, first time he touched it, he took it about 70 for a touchdown, maybe longer. And just all through the season, his ability to play injured and run physical on his runs, and getting yards after contact, they're just all through sprinkled all through the year, so you could go to about any game and pull it up and see some of his highlights. It's fantastic to watch. Shakir, again, it's recognition for an outstanding season, but he'll be the first to tell you, just like anybody else, it's not just one individual, it's a team. There's somebody up front blocking for you, somebody handing the ball off, somebody out on the perimeter blocking for you, and somebody, our offensive coordinator calling the play. So it all goes hand in hand, and he'll be the first to tell you that. But when you can average 7.3 yards per carry on all your carries when you can have almost 1,700 yards rushing. And he didn't play the second half against Northern Iowa. He didn't play the fourth quarter versus South Dakota State. He didn't play much versus Butler or Penn State, and still had 1,670 something yards rushing. That says, you're doing something right when you are in there playing. And he carried our team this year on the offensive side. He set the school record for yards in a season, single season, and he's on course to be the all-time leading rusher in the school's history. So, and he's only a sophomore. He'll be a junior next year and never redshirted. And we think he's going to have an outstanding career. And it says a lot about where we've come as a program. Just 2 years ago they had the nation's longest losing streak, and now we've had 2 back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in 17 years. And special talents, no. Hobbies, I would say my hobbies, other than dealing with football, is I'm very dedicated to my family. My wife and I have 4 wonderful children, ages 6, 5, soon to be 4, and soon to be 2. So there's not a lot of room in there from recruiting and working in football. There's not much room left for anything else but your family. So it's very special, and my family's very involved in everything that we do. They're at all the games, they're at all the practices, and they're part of this here. So that's where I spend my time. Unless I can get to the beach, that is all we have time to do. Well, obviously, my wife is an outstanding individual. She puts up with me, who's never home, always at the office or always out recruiting, and she's a wonderful young lady that graduated from the University of Alabama, has a master's degree in sports administration. She was working at the University of Notre Dame when I got there, and we met. We have 4 wonderful children that are all Indiana State football fanatics that come out to every practice and every game. And I have a 6-year-old daughter that cries when we lose and jumps up and down and screams and yells when we win. So, they're okay right now until they get to the point where they're old enough to tell me what I did wrong that day. That's soon to be coming in the future. So, their personalities are all different. We have 3 daughters and a little boy, and they're all football fans and enjoy the Shakir Bells of the world and support them well. So, I'm from a football family. From my family and my in-laws, everyone is behind us. We have great support, and it's fun to watch. My father was a Indiana State University athlete, played baseball here. My brother was on the 1986 World Series team at Indiana State in baseball, the College World Series team, and they're Indiana State graduates. And on my in-law side, they're football coaches, and I actually have a brother-in-law that's a scout for the Bears. So this is a football family. Well, when you ask who's inspired me, the person that's inspired me the most was my father, who passed away a few years ago. But he was a wonderful man that taught me a lot and was my coach when I was young. And then I'd have to say that Tyrone Willingham has been a great influence in my life. I spent 7-8 years with Tyrone at 3 different schools, and talk about character and integrity and doing things the right way, and just a leader of men. There's none better. I'd have to say Pat Hill at Fresno State, great influence on me, and as far as just toughness of the game, offensive football, running the ball, and just overall toughness in a program. Pat Hill, outstanding coach and person in that regard. And I'd have to say I learned a lot from Marvin Lewis. I was Marvin Lewis's graduate assistant coach when he was the linebacker coach at University of New Mexico. We've been great friends ever since. And Marvin's got a great mind for the defensive side of the ball, and just overall how to treat players and communicate with people. And that's been wonderful. And then I got a lot of inspiration from a young man that passed away just a couple years ago named Dan Brown, who was the defensive coordinator at Fresno State, passed away of brain cancer, and it's just being able to mix football and family, and had 6 children, passed away at 50 years old, and it just kind of taught me how to balance football and family. And those guys have all been influences, as have other people. Mike Sherman, who was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, as far as being detailed, organized with everything that you're doing. And I tried to pick and choose, from a lot of the guys out there that I've worked with. Rick Minner of the world, that was the head coach at Cincinnati, and now the defensive coordinator at Kentucky. That's a brilliant person when it comes to X's and O's and just the game of football, and take what what's their best qualities and take from them and mix it with what you believe and go from there. So, been very fortunate with a lot of the people that I've been around. I think they've been outstanding coaches and people, and I learned a lot from them. So, I learned to shut up, sit in the back, and listen, and then apply it to what I needed to do. So, that's kind of my, what's inspired me. Those are the sort of the people that have kind of, led me to where I'm at. Well, I'd say the funniest thing is, everybody laughs at me because they know I'm not a good golfer. Everybody has a golf outing event. And then that's the one thing that I've had to learn, being a head coach. You spend a lot of time going to all these fundraisers and deals in the summertime and spring of playing golf. And I'm not a golfer. I'm horrible at it. I'm getting better, but I don't really have the time. And I am playing in a coaches golf tournament at Fresno State University. And they had the 6th hole was a hole-in-one, win a car. And at the time, I was a single individual, and it was a beautiful car, and I lined up a shot. I wasn't actually playing in the tournament. I was riding around with other coaches, making sure everything was going right. And I pulled up to the 6th hole, and they asked us to hit in, so I just said, sure, I'll give my shot. And I lined up with a 6-iron, and it was 149 yards, and I hit it probably about 3 feet off the ground and went straight at the hole, rolled into the cup, and I thought I'd won a vehicle, kind of jumping up and down, all excited. Everybody slapped me high fives, ran all the way to the pro shop, wanting to get my car, and come to find out I didn't qualify for it because I wasn't actually in the tournament. I was just one of the coaches hitting in, so you had to be there to see it. It was very, very funny at the time, and then if anybody's ever seen me play golf, they'll know how funny that really is, that I was able to hit a hole-in-one, because I might be the worst golfer in the history of golf. So that's about as funny as I get. My vision for Indiana State is to become a program that is every year competing for the conference championship. That's where my vision is for the football program. That's graduating their players. That's a team that's not known for their arrest record, but for their winning record and their winning record in the classroom. A program that's known for its community service. We've logged over 2,000 hours of community service as a team this year. So, we want to be known for that. We want to be known for doing things the right way on and off the football field and the total development of the student athlete. But for a team that's competing for the conference championship year in and year out. And, our first 2 years was just working on learning how to compete and teaching these young men how to win. We ended the nation's longest losing streak, and now we're 2 years in a row we're winning, and we're going in the right direction, and our young men see that, and that's how our recruiting efforts have gone, and we want to be that team that every year is competing for the conference championship and going to the playoffs. So that's my vision. There's other things that have happened as far as new locker rooms, new practice facility, new turf, new jumbotron, those type of things that we've already accomplished, and now it's time to, let's push this to the next level and get into the playoffs and take our chance at winning a national title. Well, yes, I'd like to congratulate Shakir. He's a phenomenal young man. None better than him away from football. He deserves every award that he gets. Keep working the way you're working and being the leader that you are on and off the football field. Great things will continue. This is Trent Miles from Indiana State University football. I want to thank everyone for listening and being a supporter of College Performance Awards. And we are very excited at Indiana State on behalf of Shakir Bell and everything that's gone on. We look forward to great things in the future, and we look forward to Sycamore Nation being very happy with what we do on the football field. And it's been a very exciting time here in our program as far as becoming one of the elite Division I AA programs in the nation. We look forward to continued success, and we just want to thank everybody for their support.